Welcome to Fun is Fundamental. Fun is Fundamental is a podcast for those who realize that the enjoyment of life is about having something deep in our souls which lights our fire. It's for those who maybe have lost that fire and feel like they are missing out on the pleasures of life. In each episode, I will share recent fun activities and focus on why having fun is essential for good health. I'm your host, Alenia, and I invite you to take this journey with me and join the pleasure-seeking movement. Hi, welcome to another episode of Fun is Fundamental. And today is another short one. I'm going to talk a little bit about our little mini vacation. We've just been doing small vacations when Casey has a week off. So this last week, we first went to some ghost towns up in the northeast state of Washington. And we really liked Molson, which is actually like set up. It's not just a couple of buildings. Like, they were intentional with that, and they have like artifacts of machinery and objects, like plates, like all kinds of stuff. And you can go in the buildings, and we took a bunch of pictures. Like, there's an old bank, there's, obviously old houses, and it was like a mining town, so there was also other stuff that had to do with like mining and stuff like that. Anyway, it was just cool. It was like set up to be like that in like the 1960s, so like there's like authentic things, but like all of those things weren't necessarily right there. Like, the things were donated, a lot of things were donated and like, brought to that location and stuff like that. But it's still really cool, even if it's like sort of not authentic to how it was. Like, some of the things were in different locations and stuff. And then there's a schoolhouse. The school that is now a museum and stuff like that. We didn't make it in there because we showed up too late. It closes at 5, and we were there like right after 5 because we drove all the way from our home, so it took like 8 hours to get there. So it was just too late at that point. So yeah. And then we drove to like a couple of other spots. Some of them, like, there's not much there, and then it's like there's things like on private property, or it's just like right next to other things. And so like we kind of didn't go look at like Nighthawk and Chishaw very much because they were just like, it's like, oh, well, there's these other people, there's like this person's house here, like that kind of thing. So we're just like, oh, we saw it, and just kind of like left, drove through. Like, they were more minor ghost towns. And then we took some pictures of Bodie. Some looked pretty cool. And then the next day we were farther south, like along Highway 2. And we went to the Govan Schoolhouse, and that was really cool. And we took a bunch of pictures there, and then we went to Sherman was first, and then, but yeah, Sherman was also one of those that were kind of like, it felt like we were like at other people's houses, like, it's like right next to like other people's homes and stuff like that. So we didn't actually get out of the car. Just I looked at it, but there's a really cool like church, and so I realized I kind of want to do some research about it, because I'm not sure if that church is like an original church that like they remodeled, like they fixed, or if it was newer. So I don't know. I'm going to look into it, because that shows up like in photos. If you look up Sherman, Washington, they show this like cool old church, but I'm like, I don't know if it's like original. Anyway, so those were the ghost towns. And then the second half of the week, we went camping. You know how I feel about camping. Though this was probably some of the best sleep I've had out camping. We were right by a river, so like there was like, you get that sound is so soothing, and we, have a lot better. The gear just keeps getting better. So Casey bought some more gear again because I was complaining about like the mummy sleeping bag and things like that. And so we have some new gear in it. Anyway, I slept quite well. So gonna keep sleeping outside. But I'm not talking about that right now because I already talked about that in another episode, like 2 weeks ago. So what I'm talking about is it was really hot. Luckily, it cooled down at night. We were afraid that it wouldn't. It was like we were a little bit higher elevation, so we didn't quite hit 100 degrees, but almost 100 degrees. Like we were like just under 100. So we were, purposefully went to this area where we were like, hey, we can get in the river. So yeah, just want to talk about getting in the river because it's one of those things where like I'm always like kind of like nervous about getting into really cold water, but it's like so hot, and so like you got to pick your poison, right? Is it worse for me to like feel so hot or just like get in that gosh darn river, and so obviously I was like, I'm getting in that river. It's way too hot. Even in the shade, it's hot. So Casey, taught me about doing this thing where you put your baseball hat in the river, and then you put it on your head, and it feels so good on your head. Like because I have dark hair, and so like that beating sun on my head, like sometimes just like I feel like I'm frying and I'm gonna die. So that feels like so good. But then you have like this cold water just running down your back, and you're just like, oh my god, like I'm gonna die. Like it's so like it's kind of almost painful. Not quite. It's not quite painful, but it's like almost there. Like you're just, oh my god, I can't do this. Everyone knows that feeling. And then you're like trying to get in. You're like, oh, like you get yourself like a little farther down. and I would like kind of like bend my legs and get down, and then be like, oh, I'm back up. I can't do this, and you're just, like that whole like mind game that you're doing with yourself, where you're just like, I'm gonna get in, and I'm just like laughing, like I'm just constantly laughing at myself, and then I'm like like watching Casey do like similar things, and I'm laughing at him, like, 'cause it just, we're so like ridiculous, 'cause it's like we don't want to do things that are uncomfortable, I don't know, but maybe I don't know if it's like if it's just getting in that cold water. But like I'm out in the 100-degree weather. Like that's really uncomfortable. So like why is this alternative really uncomfortable? Anyway, I don't know. We just don't like being cold. I don't like being cold. But I don't know, it's thrilling and becomes like really exhilarating, and like it's refreshing. Like once I was like in it, it's just like, oh my god, it feels so good. And like because it was so hot, I didn't have any issues with like shivering or anything. Like I think at one point I did get like goosebumps when like it started getting a little shady and stuff like that. So it was like slightly cooler, but like that's it. I got goosebumps. That's it. So like it wasn't really even that bad, it was very refreshing. But yeah, it's like can be really invigorating, but at the same time, I don't want to do it, like yeah. So anyway, we all know this feeling. It's hard to articulate, but then like once I'm in it, it's just like I feel so, once I'm like, okay, I'm in it, and I just feel like so calm, and I love like who doesn't love watching the water? and like there's like the like all the like waves that go by in the river, and then it's also coming to the shore, and I'm like sitting on a rock, and then like the wind comes, and so there's all these ripples, and it's mesmerizing, it's beautiful, and I love it so much. But every single time I would go in there, like I'd go through the same thing again. Like it didn't get better. Like once I warm up again. Anyway, that's all. That's all for today. Actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna like answer a few of the questions I've been asking other people. Like I think I'm just gonna do like 3 questions so you can learn a little bit more about me. And yeah. So I guess like the one that I ask everyone else, and this is not rehearsed. I didn't actually play. Like I thought about it like kind of like vaguely, like maybe I'll answer some of these questions. I didn't plan an answer for any of these, so yeah. But like one of the ones I ask everyone, it's like how do you define fun? And like a lot of people's answers have been really, really good. I love hearing how people define fun. I define fun as, getting into like the flow and like where my mind just, I'm not thinking about all the worries and all of the stresses and all, just all of the things that like burden me every day, some of which don't matter, and I just feel light and joy and like, there's like this quote from Anne Lamott, and she talks about how laughter is carbonated joy, you know, and when I'm really like having so much fun, that's how I feel. I feel effervescent, and just I feel like a dandelion blowing, dandelion. I don't know what they're called. The fluffy seeds that are just like flowing through the air, like that's what I feel like, when I'm really having fun. And you just feel all of the good things, gratitude and joy and enthusiasm, the and light. You could just float away. So I guess that's how I define fun. I ask everyone, of course, what's their play personality, and I think I posted this on social media once, so a few people know, but not that many people. Like, the algorithm, I'm sure not that many people heard. So my play personalities, plural, are explorer, because I love to travel, I love to learn, I love to I'm just curious about everything. And so I want to take more and more in all the time. So I'm explorer. I am a director. I like to plan things for my friends. And, I think that's one reason why I really want to do the events and stuff like that, is because I enjoy that and I want to share that with other people. I mean, it's definitely more pressure to do it for people other than just my friends and family and stuff like that. But I think I'm up for the challenge. I think I have good ideas. So, yeah. And then I'm an artist. I like to be creative. It makes me feel I mean, it gets me into the flow state. It makes me feel when I'm not like just second guessing and just like just doing something. It feels good. That was one of the things I enjoyed most about when about teaching was when I could just be creative. I also loved being curious with the kids. There's definitely things that I enjoyed about teaching, even though I got burned out. So, all right. And then, third question. How about what's your dream vacation? My dream vacation. Oh man, I don't even know because I want to travel everywhere. I just the world is just amazing and fascinating, and I want to see everything, and I know that there's no such thing as seeing everything because it's so vast and there's so much, and we're getting to 8 billion people. It makes me feel small and insignificant. But I guess at the same time, like feeling small and insignificant is good because it takes the pressure off of you that you're not actually the center of the universe. Yay! That all these there's all these things that just don't matter then. Oh, good. I mean, I guess some of the places I really am interested in going, like top tier. I really want to go to places like Angkor Wat and like Venice. I want to go to places that are disappearing, which is like that sounds terrible. Like I want to be part of the problem as to why these places are not going to survive. That's what it sounds like. I guess I have FOMO. I don't want to not ever get to see Angkor Wat, because it just is so amazing. Have any of you ever seen In the Mood for Love? Oh, God, that end. Oh my God. I just don't even know. If you know, you know. It's just like so heart-wrenching. Yeah, I would have to go there someday. Anyway, I hope you have, that was really loud, I'm sorry. Anyway, I hope you have a good week. Have some fun. Subscribe, rate, and review. I love you. Have a fun week. And I'll see you next week for another interview. All right. Bye.